Hello, welcome back to the 1920 Chicago White Sox replay. Been a little while since we've done that. I've actually played a couple on the side. So the Washington Senators have just left town. We took 2 of 3 from them after Walter Johnson beat us the first game. We were able to beat them up pretty good the next 2 games. As of now, the team batting average is 323, which is pretty good for being in the middle of June. Their real average was 295, so obviously overperforming a little bit. So you can see the standings here. We are in first place, a game and a half ahead of Cleveland, who started out a little slow but are coming on strong. They actually won the pennant this year. Washington, who just left town, are 2 games behind. The New York Yankees, who are in town for this game in an important series, are 2.5 out. And the Yankees, with their brand new pickup from the Boston Red Sox, Babe Ruth, is in town. So this should be a good game. This is the first time they have been in town this season. We've played them 2 games in New York and ended up splitting the series. So Boston, St. Louis, rather, the Browns, who had a decent team, are 4.5 out. Boston is at 7.5 out, and then Detroit at 9 out, and Philadelphia bringing up the rear. The Athletics at a lowly 15-38. So should be a good game. Shoeless Joe Jackson, Eddie Collins, Babe Ruth, Wally Pipp. On the mound for the Chicago White Sox is Red Faber. He is underperforming a bit. He was 23-13 with a 2.99 ERA in real life. So far, he's just 4-7 with a 4.95. So he is underperforming a bit. On the mound for the Yankees is Jack Quinn. He's actually their 3rd starter. Tomorrow, the next game. This is Wednesday, June the 16th, 1920. Tomorrow, Carl Mays will go. And I'll probably try to do that game as well. And when I say tomorrow, I mean tomorrow in the 1920 season. It may not actually be tomorrow. So anyway, this should be a good game. Looking forward to, again, seeing the Yankees' new pickup, Babe Ruth. So, and this should be very interesting because the last week of the season, as most of you probably know, a good majority of the White Sox were banned from baseball forever, based on them throwing the 1919 World Series. And so if we happen to be in first place and win the pennant, I'm doing as played. So those players will not be available for the World Series. So that could be an exciting finish. So anyway, we'll get this game started. Leading off for the Yankees is Roger Peckinaw, the shortstop. He's hitting .264, a couple home runs so far. Here we go. That's a 6-5 versus a righty. He got a 13, so that's going to be a leadoff single. So a lot of offense in 1920. So that's 6-5 with a 13 on the 20-sided die. And so Peckinaw will lead off with a base hit. We will obviously hold him on. I'm letting the computer manage the Yankees. Just let me make sure I'm letting the computer manage the Yankees. Yes, I am. All right, so that brings up the third baseman, Aaron Ward, who is hitting .246 with 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. We'll probably bring the corners in because he is a B bunter. So we'll see what they do. And they're going to let him hit away. So not trying to test Ray. Our catcher, Ray Schalk, has a -4 arm. So he's got a bazooka. So 2-6, and that's going to be popped up on the infield. Buck Weaver, who's been playing shortstop for the injured Swede Risberg, will call for it and put it away for out number 1. Wally Pipp, who is famous for being replaced by Lou Gehrig and not getting his job back, and he was actually a pretty decent player in his own right. He's hitting .318, 4 home runs, 28 RBIs so far in the replay. So we'll put the infield back. Here's the pitch from Faber, right-handed versus the left-handed Wally Pipp. That's a 2-9, and that's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher. He gives it to Weaver and fires on to first, but it's not going to be in time. So Wally Pipp hustling down the line. Avoids the double play. But there are 2 out with a runner on first. So Wally Pipp is not that great of a stealer, so we're going to play behind him. So again, the Yankees' new acquisition from the Boston Red Sox, Babe Ruth, who is leading the league with 14 home runs. He ended up hitting 54 this year, which in 1920 was just astronomical. But so far he's hitting 324. Again, 14 home runs, 44 RBIs. So we'll play behind Pipp at first, and they're not going to try to steal. So here is the mighty Babe Ruth in his first year as a Yankee. That's a 3-7, and he's going to draw a walk. So he walked 148 times that year. So it's amazing he's able to hit 54 home runs with that many walks. But Red Faber, not wanting to have anything to do with the Babe, will put him on first. So runners on first and second, and Bob Musial, who hit 328 in real life, 11 home runs, 83 RBIs. Playing left field today for the Yankees. He's hitting 303, 3 home runs, and 22 RBIs, so a very good hitter in his own right. Only walked 20 times, however. 4-5 versus the righty, and that's popped up on the infield. And Buck Weaver will get his second pop-up of the game. Actually, that's a 4-6, so that's a ground ball to third base. So McMullen, who is normally back up, is playing, and he will throw on to first to end the inning. So no runs, a hit, no errors. The Yankees leave on 2. So after half an inning, New York nothing, Chicago coming to bat. So again, the Chicago offense has been very potent this year. Eddie Collins leads off. He is hitting .412 with a home run, 31 RBIs, and he is hitting third in hitting in the American League. Shoeless Joe Jackson, who is hitting in the mid-400s, is leading the league. Happy Felch is leading the league in RBIs. So, again, a very good year for the Chicago offense. So Quinn comes into the game at 8-3 with a 3.88 ERA. So Eddie Collins will lead things off. Again with a 4.12 average. He gets a 1.8, and that's going to be a single. So lots of offense for this Chicago club. So Quinn holds it a -2. Hannah, the catcher, has a +1 arm. So for a net of -1. So Eddie Murphy is getting a start today. He's batting .333 and 54 at bats. He's playing right field. He's a good, actually he's not a good bunter. He's a good hit and runner. We'll go ahead and just let him hit away. They're not going to bring the infield in, but so we'll just let Murphy hit and see what he can do. That's a 4.8 versus the lefty, and he can do really good. So that is pulled down the line. Wally Pipp is not able to reach it, and Babe Ruth runs it down, but not before Eddie Murphy is into third with his first triple of the year. And Chicago up 1-0. So just like that, the White Sox jump out to a 1-0 lead. So that'll bring up Shoeless Joe Jackson, who's leading the American League with a 4.53 ERA. He has 5 home runs, 40 RBIs, 15 doubles, 8 triples. So he is just having a very good year. Only struck out 3 times. Looks like the Yankees are going to play back. They'll concede the run here. So here's the pitch to Shoeless Joe. That's a 1-7, and he is going to proceed to hit a liner into the right center field gap. Bodie or Ruth will not get to it. And that will put Jackson on second with a RBI double. That's his 41st RBI of the season. And quickly, the White Sox up 2-0 and nobody out. So Happy Felsch leading the American League with 57 RBIs. He's hitting .372. Here's the pitch from Quinn trying to get an out. That's a 6-10, and that's a ballpark check. We got a 9, and it's 1-7, so the ballpark will save Quinn there. So that's a 9. So that's going to be... They have it set to where it's typically a line out, but I have it set to where they spread the outs around to make it more. And they do this thing where that he hits a foul and then he gets. I wish they would not do that and just go ahead and do the play. I've got it set like on the lowest play-by-play option, and again, I don't need he fouled it off. Oh, he gets another chance. It does that. Any is too much, but it does it way too much. So anyway, they ended up saying that he popped it up to Peckinaw at short. So 1 away. That brings up Buck Weaver, who's having a good year of himself. He's hitting .338, 49 RBIs. Shoeless Joe Jackson out at second base. That's a 5-8. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Bodie out there will put it away. And Jackson, Shoeless Joe, will hold at second. So that brings up Shane O'Collins, who is playing first base mostly this year. Chick Gandil, who is one of the Black Sox, so to speak, he didn't play this year. That's a 1-6, and that's going to be another triple. So that's his 4th triple of the year. So that's a 1-6. We got a 2 on the 12 or the 20-sided dice. And just like that, it's 3-0, Chicago. Ray Chalk, he's hitting .296 with 31 RBIs. We'll step to the plate. Quinn trying to get that elusive third out. He gets a 3-9, and that's going to be a walk. So the first walk that Quinn has given up. Fred McMullen, utility infielder, playing third with Weaver over at short, with Swede Risberg being injured. He's been out for a little while. It's a 1-6, and he's going to bounce it back to Quinn. And Quinn will throw on to Pip to end the inning. But the White Sox continue their torrid hitting as they plate 3 with 4 base hits, no errors. They left 2 on, and after 1 complete, 3-0 Chicago White Sox. Red Faber, see if he can hold the lead. We'll face Ping Bodie here to lead off the second. Bodie is hitting .246 with a couple home runs, 17 RBIs. That's a 6-4 versus the righty, and that's a ground ball to first base. Shane O'Collins will field it and flips it to Faber for out number 1. Del Pratt, New York second baseman, is hitting .329, having a very good year so far. So he only hit 4 home runs in real life, already got 5, so he's overperforming substantially. That's a 1-6. That's a ground ball to Weaver at short, hit hard but right at him. And that's out number 2. Truck Hanna, catcher for Yankees, up with 2 out, nobody on. He's hitting .222 thus far with 117 at bat. That's a 4-5, and that's popped up on the infield once again. And Buck Weaver will get his third put out on a pop-up. So Red Faber retires him in order. Go to the bottom of the second. The White Sox up by 3. So that brings up Red Faber to bat here in the bottom of the second. I'm using actual pitcher hitting cards, so I just got this here to keep their spot, so you won't be able to see the card. But Red Faber did walk a bit. So that's a 6-6, and he's going to hit a ground ball to, actually a fly ball out to right field. Babe Ruth will get to that one, put it away for out number 1. Faber was the only Chicago White Sox batter not to bat last inning. So Eddie Collins will lead off or hit next. He singled and scored. I believe he's leading the American League in runs scored too. That's a 1-8, and that's yet another single. I'm pretty sure that's what he rolled the last time. So his average continues to climb. Eddie Murphy, he tripled in a run and scored. That was his first triple of the year. Again, in limited play. They're holding Collins on at first, but we're not going to try anything. That's a 2-6. That's a 2-star single. So Eddie Murphy gets his second hit. Collins will make it to third easily. And the White Sox are in business here again in the second. Shoeless Joe Jackson, he doubled in a run. That was his 16th double of the year. Looks like they're going to play the infield back, hoping for the double play here. So here's Shoeless Joe looking to see if he can inflict some more damage. That's a 5-9. That's a shortstop X. Peckinaw is a 132. So he has a good range, but not that great of an E rating. So we'll see what he does. So 5 and up is going to be a G1. So he gets an 18. So if he doesn't, it's a double play if he doesn't make an error. He rolled a 12, and so 13 would have been an error. But Peckinaw will make the play. 6-4-3 double play. So Shoeless Joe retired on the double play. That was out number 2. 6-4-3 double play. So Quinn gets out of that jam. 1 are left on. We go to the top of the third. Still 3-0 Chicago White Sox. Quinn will lead off here. The New York pitcher will lead off here in the top of the third. He's an .091 hitter in real life. He gets a 5-5, and that's going to be a fly ball out to Happy Felch, who will have no issues with that for out number 1. Roger Peckinaw has the only hit for New York today. He led off the game with a single. Erased on a fielder's choice. That's a 6-5, and that's a 7, so that's going to be a triple. So that's the 4th triple of the year for Peckinaw. And that will put the first runner for the Yankees in scoring position today, here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. So the White Sox are going to play back. We'll concede the run. Aaron Ward is popped out to Weaver in his only at bat so far. That's a 1-7, and that's a fly ball to center field question mark. Peckinaw is a 12 runner, so we'll see if they try to send him. Felch is a 0 arm. So Miller Huggins is going to wave him home. And here's the play at the plate. And that's a 1, so he's going to score. So sacrifice fly for Aaron Ward as he gets the RBI. So sac fly to 8. It's out number 2, and an RBI for Aaron Ward. So Yankees get on the board 3-1. Wally Pipp is up with 2 out, nobody on base. He hit the fielder's choice, his first at bat back in the first inning. That's a 5-9, and that's going to be a easy fly ball out to Murphy, who's not a great fielder, but he will make that one. So, Yankees get a run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the third, 3-1 Chicago. So Jack Quinn will focus his attention on Happy Felsch, who popped out in his first at bat. Still hitting .370, 7 home runs, 57 RBIs. That's a .310, and that's going to be popped up on the infield. And it will be Pecknall calling for it. So for the second time in a row, Happy Felsch has popped out to short. Buck Weaver, he hit a fly ball out to Bodie in center field. That's a .210, and that's going to be a double. So Weaver parts the left center field between Musial and Bodie, and it goes to the wall. And Weaver scampers in with his 15th double of the year. Yeah, this team was very good. It would have been interesting to see how they would have played out the early 20s if they had not lost all of their players due to the Black Sox scandal. Shane O'Collins tripled in a run. So 1 out. Buck Weaver on second base. He's not being held. That's a 2-8. And that's going to be hit hard to Ward at third base. And he will look Weaver back to second. And there's 2 away. So another one of those foul balls, but he gets another bat. I wish I could cut that off. It's really annoying. All right, so Ray Chalk will step up. He has walked in his only at bat. And looks like they're going to put him on intentionally to get to Fred McMullen, which probably isn't a bad strategy. So that brings up Fred McMullen, who grounded out to the pitcher to end the first inning. He gets a 2-3, and boy, he got sandwiched by triples there, but unfortunately it's a slow grounder to first. And Pip will take it himself for out number 3. So again, the White Sox threaten, but not able to get anything across. Hopefully that doesn't come back to get them if they've left 5 runners on in the first 3 innings. But we will go to the top of the fourth. 3-1 Chicago White Sox. So Faber will face Babe Ruth, who walked in his last at bat. It's 36 walks for the Babe this year so far. So here is the pitch from Faber. It's a 2-8, and the Babe goes down swinging. So strikeout number 36. So he's struck out as much as he's walked. So the Babe with a mighty swing, but comes up empty. Out number 1. Bob Musial, he grounded out hard to McMullen to end the first inning. He gets a 3-11, and that's hit hard once again to McMullen, who once again fields it cleanly and once again throws to Collins for the out. So 2 out for Ping Bodie. He grounded out to first to start the second inning, hitting .244. That's a 5-6, and that's hit hard to shortstop. But Weaver is there, sets and throws to end the inning. So for the second inning today, the Yankees go down in order. And we go to the home half of the fourth. Still Chicago up by 2. So Quinn will face Faber, who flied out to Babe Ruth. His first at bat. That's a 4-3. He's a lefty, and that's popped up on the infield once again. A lot of pop-ups today. Pratt will call this one, and there's one away. Eddie Collins is 2 for 2, 2 singles with a run scored. His average up to 417. That's a 6-5. That's hit to the second baseman. But Pratt's able to catch this one. And quickly, there's 2 away here in the 4th. Eddie Murray is tripled and singled. RBI. Got his average up to 357. That's a 5-9, and that's a shortstop X. Again, pecking on with a good range. At a 1 with a 32 E rating. So we know he'll get to it. And that's a 3, so his 1 saved a hit, and he got a 10 on the three sixes, and that's a good play by Pecknall. So nice defense by the Yankee shortstop. And they go down in order. After 4, 3-1, Chicago White Sox. New York second baseman Del Pratt will lead off here in the top of the 5th. He hit into a fielder's choice, or actually, he was out 1-3. So here is the pitch from Faber. That's a 5-5. That's an easy fly ball out to Happy Felsch in center field. Out number 1. Truck Hanna, he popped out to short. A lot of people have popped out today. Here is the pitch, the righty versus the righty. That's a 4-7, and that's going to be a strikeout. So strikeout number 2 today for Mr. Faber. And quickly, there's 2 away, and that will bring the pitcher Jack Quinn up. He hit a fly ball out to Felsch to lead off the 3rd. That's a 3-4, and that's out of here. Can you believe that? Jack Quinn, he had 2 home runs and 88 at bats, and for some reason, Strat doesn't keep track of pitchers' stats during the replay. I don't know why. You would think they would have fixed that by now, but they haven't. If there's something I'm doing that I'm not, let me know. But that is pulled down the line, and all Jackson Shoeless Joe can do is watch it go. So the Yankees have pulled within 1 as Jack Quinn helps himself immensely with a solo jack. And it is 3-2. So Roger Pecknall, he's 2 for 2 with the triple, runs scored. He has 2 of the 3 hits for the Yankees. That's a 1-10, and that's going to be popped up and foul ground. Ray Chalk will head back to the screen, throw his mask aside, and he will play it for the out. So that'll be a foul out too, but the Yankees get a run on Jack Quinn's solo home run. And so after 4.5, the Yankees have pulled within 1. 3, 4, and 5 due for Chicago here in the home half of the 5th. Shoeless Joe has doubled and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. He gets a 6-8. 1-16 is a single. He got a 3, so a single it is. So Shoeless Joe with his second hit of the day. That's a 3. So he leads off here, trying to get some more runs, insurance runs, so to speak. So Shoeless Joe is out 9 and 10 automatically if he tries to steal. Felsch is not that great of a double play candidate, so we'll go ahead and let him hit. See what he's able to do. So far, he's popped out to Pecknall short twice. That's a 5-6, and this time he pops out, but a little deeper this time at least. And Musial will chase it down for out number 1. Buck Weaver's doubled and flied out. That was number 16 or 15 rather, doubles for Mr. Weaver. That's a 4-9, 13, and he has proceeded to double again. So that'll be to center field. Bodie is a 0. Shoeless runs at a 14. So we'll have to see let the computer figure out the numbers here. He was being held. So we got a 13 on the 20. So he drives the ball to center for extra base hit. So 1-13, Shoeless Joe will score. You got to take those odds. So here's Shoeless Joe at the plate, and he gets a 2. So we're gonna send the trailing runner because he's 1-10. We'll see if they cut it off. Nope, they go through, and we rolled a 2. So Jackson slides in safely. Weaver will advance to third, and it's 4-2 Chicago. So Buck Weaver coming through big time, as Shoeless Joe's able to score all the way from first base. Second double of the game for Weaver, his first RBI of the game, but he will end up at third. So it looks like the Yankees are going to pull the infield in for Strat-O Collins. There's one out. Strat-O has tripled in a run and grounded out. Again, very good hitter, as a lot of these White Sox are. That's a 4-7, and that's a strikeout. So big strikeout there for Quinn. That's his first of the game. Second out, so that will allow the Yankees to pull the infield back for Ray Schalk, and they might walk him again. We'll see. No, they're going to pitch to him. So he is walked and intentionally walked, so we'll see if he can make them pay for this. That's a 5-5, but that's going to be a fly ball the opposite way out to Ruth. And the Babe will chase it down without too much difficulty for out number 3. But we do get a run on a couple hits, no errors, one runner left. After 5 complete, it's 4-2 Chicago White Sox. So Red Faber, see if he can hold on to this 2-run lead. He has number 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Yankees here in the top of the 6th. Aaron Ward has popped out and hit a sacrifice fly in his 2 at-bats today. That's a 5-8. That's a second base X. The Hall of Famer Eddie Collins is a 123 fielder. So looks like 11 and 17 are the only errors. And he gets a 19. So he obviously with a 1, he automatically gets to it on the range. And that's a 10 on the E. So he will make a very good play. So Eddie Collins is a very good fielder. He makes most of the plays that are hit to him. Wally Pipp will be up with 1 out. He's hitting to a fielder's choice and flied out to Murphy and right. 315 on the year. That's a 3-9, and that's a ground ball, slow ground ball to Collins. Collins charges, fires on to the other Collins, and that would be out number 2. So 2 out, nobody on, which is how you want the Babe to come to the plate. So far, he has walked and struck out. Again, leading the American League with 14 home runs. I think the next person is 8. So 1-9 versus a right-handed pitcher, and that's a strikeout. So for the second at bat in a row, Faber whiffs the Babe. So the Babe's first appearance in Chicago as a New York Yankee is not off to a great start. So that will be it as the Yankees go down in order for the 3rd time today. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-2 Chicago White Sox. So 8, 9, and 10 due up for the White Sox. McMullen is 0 for 2, hitting a robust 175. He is a decent fielder, so 312, and he's hit by a pitch. So that's the last person you want to put on base with a hit by pitch, but there he is nonetheless. Red Faber will step to the plate. They have the corners in, and we're going to try to sacrifice him, of course. The computer does this. Again, I would like it to let you do everything, but so they're actually going to try to get the lead runner. So let's see what happens there. That's a 5. I don't think they're going to do it. So Ward fields it at third. He tries to throw over to Pratt, and that will be a sacrifice and a fielder's choice, so they get nobody out. So that's a fielder's choice on a bunt, and he gets the sacrifice. So runners on first and second, nobody out for Eddie Collins, who's 2 for 3. He was one of the few White Sox that, as far as everybody knows, wasn't involved in the scandal, so he played for quite a few more years and, of course, made the Hall of Fame. 2-9, and that's going to be a walk. So the bases are now loaded with Shoeless Joe Jackson coming to the plate, or Eddie Murphy, rather. Shoeless Joe will be next. So Quinn in trouble here. Bases full of Chicago baseball players, Eddie Murphy. So they're going to bring the infield in. So here we go. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Eddie Murphy has tripled and singled and grounded out. And I missed the tower. That's a 6-6, and that's going to be a sacrifice fly to right field. So that's deep enough where Babe will field it, but McMullen will score. We'll see what Faber does. 1-11, he's saved. 12-19, he must hold. So we'll take those odds. 20 is the only out. Oh, he rolled a 20. Oh, man. So how about that? He tries to tag up, and the Babe throws him out. Ward fields it and tags him, and just like that. So the Babe doing it with the glove. So that'd be a double play. So McMullen will score. Faber is out 9-5. Collins will hold it first. So that would have been the second out. That's a sacrifice fly for Murphy, but a double play. So that was, he had the first out. He did get an RBI. So that was an interesting play. Well, they got a run out of it at least, but Faber gunned down at third on the nice throw by the Babe. So Shoeless Joe will be up. Eddie Collins at first. Shoeless Joe scored twice, got a couple hits, RBI and a double. 6-10, and that's a ballpark check, which is a 1-7 on the singles, and he got a 17. So he will not get on base this time. And that'll be out number 3. We'll see how they distribute it. And that's going to be a line out to Pratt at second to end the inning. So 1 run on no base hits. There were no errors, 1 runner left. And so after 6 complete, the White Sox are up 5 to the New York Yankees 2. Top of the 7th, Bob Musial, who is 0 for 2. Will take first crack at Faber here in the 7th inning. That's a 1-4, and that's a hard ground ball to McMullen. Sets and throws out number 1, and Musial has hit to McMullen all 3 at-bats today. So he's giving McMullen a workout over there. McMullen is passing with flying colors. Ping Bodie is 0 for 2. Just 3 hits for the Yankees so far. That's a 3-7. 1-4 is a single. We rolled a 9. So that's going to be a line out to shortstop. So 3-7. A 9 on the 20. And 2 away for Del Pratt, who is 0 for 2. Hitting .325 still on the year. That's a 2-5, and that's a solid single up the middle. So a 2-out single for Pratt, his first hit of the game. Truck Hannah. So we'll go ahead and hold Pratt on at first. And they're going to let Hannah hit away. He's popped out and struck out so far today. That's a 2-8, and that's a whiff. So he has struck out once again. Strikeout number 4 for Faber. And that'll do it for the Yankees in the seventh. Seventh inning stretch time. Just 3 runners left on for New York. So we will look at our seventh inning stretch trivia. What Cincinnati Red slugger was named MVP of the 1976 All-Star Game? If I remember correctly, that was Ken Griffey. Let me see if I remember correctly. George Foster. I'm pretty sure Ken Griffey was voted to one, but I could be wrong. But anyway, so missed it on that one. All right, so bottom of the seventh, Jack Quinn still on the mound. We'll face Happy Felsch, who is 0 for 3 today. Still with a good 367 average. That's a 5-11. That's a left field X. Musial is a 317. So not a great fielder out there. We'll see if he's able to make the play. Anything under a 6 is a base hit on the range. And he got a 2, so that's going to be a double. And then we got a 7. So no error, but he's not able to reach it. And Happy Felsch is in with his 15th double of the year. So the White Sox trying to get some more insurance runs here, ahead by 3, trying to tack on to that. Buck Weaver has doubled twice to raise his double total to 16 for the year. That's a 3-7, and that's a fly ball to center field. Bodie will track it down for out number 1. Shane Collins, he has tripled in 3 at-bats. Drove in his 22nd run of the year. That's a 5-5, and that's going to be a fly ball out to the Babe. I think we have a possible opportunity for Felsch to tag up. Again, 20 is the only chance for him being out. 1-14, he's safe. So we're gonna try it again. Oh, 17. So he's gonna hold. So Babe didn't throw him out this time, at least. Babe Ruth had a -3 arm in 1920. So he, being a pitcher, you would expect that, or having been a pitcher. All right, so Happy Felsch is still on second base where he started the inning. 2 outs. Ray Chalk is up, and they're going to intentionally pass him, as they have done twice now in this game. But again, not a bad strategy, as McMullen is not a good hitter. So he has been hit by a pitch and scored, however. So Fred McMullen looking to see if he can get some of his pride back. Gets a 4-9, and he does. That's going to be a double. That's going to be his 3rd double of the year. That's to center for extra base. Felsch scores 1-15. Chalk will score. So we're going to send the lead runner. They're going to throw home. I'm going to send the trailing runner. Let's see if they cut off. Yeah, they're going to try for the trailing runner. So 1-7, he's safe. He gets a 17, so he's out. But Chalk will score. McMullen thrown out trying to go to 3rd. So Felsch scores. Chalk scores. McMullen doubles and was out 8-5 for the 3rd out, trying to score. But he did get a double. He got 2 RBIs. And it is 7-2 Chicago. So they got getting a decent lead here. So we got the top of the 8th. Quinn will lead off. We'll see if they let him hit or not. So we got 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. Top of the 8th, 7-2. So they're going to let Quinn hit. I don't know if maybe their bullpen is tired. That's a 1-5, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for Faber today. Peckinaw is 2 for 3. He has been, other than Quinn's home run, the only bright offensive spot for the Yankees. That's a 5-11. That's a one-base X. Shane Collins is not a very good fielder. He's a 420. So we'll see if he's able to get to it or not. He rolls a 1, so that's a single. Got a 3, so no error. But Collins is not able to field it, and Peckinaw gets his third hit today. 3 of the 5 New York hits have been by Roger Peckinaw. Aaron Ward is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. We'll hold Peckinaw in at first. 1 out. The righty Faber versus the right-handed Aaron Ward, third base for the Yankees. He gets a 6-10, and that's a center field X. Felch is a pretty good fielder. He's a 1-9. So an excellent range. See if he can track it down. So 5, so he did get to it. So again, that range saved a hit, and he got a 9-11. So he's going to make a fine defensive play for out number 2. Chicago has pretty good defense. They got Felch as a 1 in center. Jackson's a 1 in left. Eddie Collins is a 1 at second. Ray Chalk is a 1 at catcher. So again, pretty good fielding team. So that brings up Wally Pipp, 2 out with Peckinaw still on first. Pipp is 0 for 3 today. That's a 2-3, and that's popped up, foul ground. Chalk will get to it and put it away for out number 3. So no runs on a hit, no errors. They leave on 1. We go to the home half of the 8th. Chicago up by 5. So Quinn still on the mound. Will face Faber, who is he reached on a fielder's choice sacrifice bunt. Other than that, he is 0 for 2. That's a 6-9, and he's going to have a solid single. So Faber on first base. They'll probably play behind him, or actually holding him, because Faber does have some speed. They're going to bring the corners in. I'm going to go ahead and let Collins hit away here with a 5-run lead. He is 2 for 3 with a walk. That's a 3-4. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Musial in left. Take a few steps toward Bodie in center. Put it away for the first out of the inning. Eddie Murphy is 2 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Couple RBIs. He gets a 2-8, and that's going to be hit hard to Pipp at first. He'll fire on to Peckinaw, who will fire back to Pipp for the 3-6-3 double play. No runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left. Top of the 9th, 7-2 Chicago. So Babe Ruth will lead off here in the top of the 9th. So far, he is 0 for 2 with a walk, struck out twice. So here is the pitch from Faber. That's a 2-6, and he strikes out again. So how about that? Red Faber is kind of underperformed this year, but he's throwing a gem today, especially when it comes to the Babe, as he has struck out the Babe 3 times in a row. For out number 1, Bob Musial is grounded out to McMullen at third 3 times. So at least the Yankees are consistent. That's a 1-10, and he grounds to third again. So hard grounder to McMullen. McMullen knows the routine. He throws on to Collins for out number 2. Love this game. 4 ground out to thirds. All right. Ping Bodie, last chance here for the Yankees. He is 0 for 3 today. 6-5, and that's going to be trouble. That's going to be a 9, so that's going to be a solid single. As we get a 9 on the 20-sided die. Just missed a triple. A triple, 1 to 8 would have been a triple. Hit number 6 today for the Yankees. As Ping Bodie is not going to go down quietly. We're going to have Collins play behind him as Del Pratt will step up. He's 1 for 3. And doesn't look like they're going to try anything with Bodie at first. They're going to hold him there. That's a 5-6. That's a hit hard to Weaver as short. And he will throw to first, and that's the game. So nice game by the White Sox as they have won 3 in a row. They go to 2-1 versus the Yankees. And again, this was the first game in Chicago against the Yankees. So 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 7 hits, 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the White Sox. Look at some stats here. So great job by Faber as he wins to go 5-7. 9 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Quinn took the loss to go 8-4. Pretty equal hitting for the White Sox. Eddie Collins, Eddie Murphy, Shoeless Joe, and Buck Weaver all had 2 hits apiece. Eddie Murphy had 2 RBIs. McMullen ended up with 2 RBIs. Home run by Jack Quinn. And Peckinaw had 3 hits for the Yankees in the losing effort. So the first game here in Chicago, that will put the White Sox at 32-20. In real life at this point, they were 29-23. So we are 3 games ahead of the pace. So a big win. So the next game, which is Thursday the 17th, it'll have Carl Mays on the hill. So I probably will try to record that one as well because Carl Mays is obviously a very good pitcher and should be a fun game to watch. So anyway, the Chicago White Sox come out victorious by a 7-2 score. I thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.